Okay, so we're back in match. Yeah, I missed it. Sorry, they scored. It's not good. I'm not quite sure how it happened, and um, I think I accidentally was holding down a key when I hit the space bar, and not sure what I did to cause that. Trying to push too many keys, muting stuff. Anyway, I'll just try and make this last change so we can throw something forwards. Or at the least, I think I'm kind of not feeling good about this match at all. I'm just going to. Yeah, we've run out of time. Okay, I was just going to sub somebody so they don't get injured. But yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't ideal for this exercise. But yeah, so what I wanted to do before all of that happened was to change it to not be back off, to change it to be closing down. And I just thought of that now, unfortunately. And perhaps that could help us have not conceded that goal and also to have won instead. But I guess we would never know. But anyway, so that when it was 1-1 and I wanted to make that change, decent chance. That's what I wanted to do. Here we go, a couple of chances. So, I mean, in the end, I feel like, like it's very, how do you say, it was 1-1. We did want to make that change, and, we've ended up losing 2-1. Maybe if we made it, maybe we win 2-1. You don't really, obviously you don't know what would have happened, but all you can really do is, I guess the thing here is just the good illustration of the point that maybe we do win 2-1 if we make that change. This is how fine a margin things are, right? Like we change to closing down. Maybe we win. Maybe we don't lose. It's a game of extremely fine margins quite often. So, yeah. So I'd say at this point we do have an issue that a new defender is down for 6 matches, and that is very problematic for us in regards to our defensive setup. We're back to being really bad. Just changing all this back. We want him on this side, and we want him to be central defender. So yeah, so that's not good at all. Possibly we want to play with a deeper defensive line. We could try that out next match. I'm going to do it now. So we're just going to try. What we'll do is we'll try playing like long ball, fast, direct, into space again. So this is basically what this means is counter-attacking football, really. And we want to do is sit back. So we're going to sit back and hit the ball forwards. Just to start, for the start of this next match. And see if that one, we'll give that a try. So it's same formation, everything, right? But it's going to be a completely sort of different style, feel to it because of this defensive line. It does change things so much. The other thing that we could be looking to try, I even said, what did I say I was going to do in between? Some option, so we can rest that guy. No, he's not there. Okay, we don't have time. We'll have to do it before the next match. The other option we've got is to use this other AML instead of this guy, because I'm not really that sold that this guy is ever doing anything that much to help. He feels like it's like all of these other players are doing quite a bit except for him. So I think the plus side of that though is maybe we don't lose much at all if he shift, like if he's a left midfielder instead, or a left wing back instead, or a left back. So because he doesn't seem to be helping that much attacking anyway. So yeah. I'll try and pay a little bit more attention to him in particular. So right, so we are through. Let's cut back. Chance, goal. There you go. And again, the exact type of chance that we want falling to that guy. I think he had like nearly 70 long shots or so. I might look back over the players after this match and maybe try to do something else with that left side. At the very least, just use that other player instead. Or change the role for him, leaving him in. I'll try and just change something. I'll look into it after this match and think about changing something. Just to try something different so we can see. I mean, I kind of feel like on the whole, conceptually, this formation, we could get working quite well. I kind of feel like it's capable of creating chances. Again, my main concern with it really is just longer term that without the fullbacks, it's naturally going to be countered by anything that's playing AML and AMR. So that's one issue long term, but for now it wouldn't matter at all, and it may not even matter long term if the meta changes. But the big issue really is that we didn't want to be playing AML or AMR. So ideally we wouldn't. But I think, for example, we're saying we aren't. I mean, we're playing MR and AML. And we're just saying anyway that the AML... Ooh, that was a decent hit. Nearly scored. The AML maybe could be something different here. So, it's just AML because that's all we got that can play on the left. So yeah, maybe we will try and get this formation working over time. Because I kind of already... I don't know... kind of liking it, to be honest. I kind of like the I think in particular what I like about it is that it creates the chances that we're creating have a lot of variety. We're creating we're creating a lot of long shots. We're creating I don't know. We just create a really good variety of like longer shots, shorter range shots, like crosses, cutbacks, sort of passing around build. I really quite like it, to be honest, because of that. As opposed to, for example, for our youth team match, like we had 10 shots and they were all taken by the striker. Like that was the opposite, right? It's like a narrow sort of type of chances that are narrower. Anyway, I kind of like it. Maybe we'll end up trying to go with this, trying to work the AML out of it. And there we go. Our first set. I think that's our first goal. Scored or conceded off of set pieces, I think, out of all these matches. And we conceded one. There's not a lot we're going to be able to do about worrying too much about that for now. It's more of a longer term thing we're going to have to worry about. It could be a factor, in particular, I guess, when we're looking for keepers. Maybe that's the simplest thing we could do to try to concede a bit less. But I'm not going to panic too much. Yet, and we'll worry about that longer term. Right, so they are definitely in control of this. In control in regards to these statistics, but I kind of feel okay about it, to be honest, because when we're creating these chances, there you go, that's his weakness exposed. It's his 40 finishing, or whatever it is, exposed there. So yeah, I mean, because this is another example. It's like, it looks like we just had the 2 shots there, by the way, so before that happened we only had 3 shots. And at that point, it really felt like, you look at that and it looks like they're completely in control. But in actual fact, it feels quite the opposite. Like it was quite somewhere between balanced and us having the upper hand. And, and that was even before that chance at the end happened there. So, kind of alright. Like, I feel like for now, we're just going to go with this because... I'm alright, like I said. I feel like we've slight upper hand, feel us okay, and we had that good chance. We might be able to get one more good, solid chance like that. Hopefully we score before we'll sub the striker off. There we go, we had it again. So, hopefully we will get one more. We keep saying one more until we score, I suppose. And actually, it's almost like we did get to keep having... There we go. It transpired that happened. We did get one more until we scored. So, we will be subbing this guy off soon. I don't really want to use him when he's tired. When we have a decent other striker on the bench. Just sort of running the risk that we get injured when he's playing, tired anyway. So we'll bring the other guy on. We're going to change him to his poacher role. And we'll resume. Now, I think one thing though in particular is that maybe this whole long ball sitting back thing does not make sense anymore. We'll ride it out a little bit. It doesn't make sense from the perspective of the striker that we just brought on, but I think it still arguably makes sense from a defensive perspective. Because ultimately we have been defending fine. Like, they scored off a set piece, that's it. They haven't really created anything else we're too worried about. Oh, that was another great chance. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go with it. I'm not too worried. I mean, obviously when we are playing the deeper defensive line though, we are more likely to give up set pieces, so it's worth keeping that in mind. Another great chance. Well, not great, but good chance. It was like the long shots in the right area to the right player again. So yeah, like, I'm really happy with already. Like, I feel like we definitely got the well upper hand here. Like, we've created a really I don't know. I haven't been counting them, but it's me talking too much. But I feel like 7 maybe. There's another one, 8. A huge amount of really good chances, good dangerous situations, and they basically just had their set piece. That's it. Man, the star of the show though has been our right midfielder. I've got to say, we've been, pretty much every match, he's doing so much. In stark contrast to our left winger, who doesn't seem to do anything. It is though. This tactic is working quite well. I feel like it's quite refined. A lot of it already in regards to the overall setup and roles and the players, and except for that left winger, which who doesn't seem to do hardly anything, which is a really good sign in regards to the fact that we could, there's a lot. It's a big thing we can improve, basically. A huge scope for improvement there. Like another player that could either help a lot in the build-up play, help a lot. Another player, like it could just be another more defensive, something to create a lot of defensive stability. It could be a player that does both, like sort of helps the build up, and that could be another player who is looking to specifically just score goals as well. So it could be a player to score, it could be a player to create, it could be a player to defend, or it could be a mixture. Because at the moment it's not anything. It's almost like we're playing 10 against 11. Talking too much, I'm going to pause. We should have made some subs already now. We are defending a set piece. I'm just going to unpause and wait to hopefully defend the set piece before I change everything. Okay, there we go. We didn't defend it. 2 goals conceded off set pieces. What I maybe should have done instead was, by the way, is just to look for who I might have subbed, and just look for one where we would have brought someone on with the better aerial ability or tackling or something, but obviously too late now. We've already conceded the goal. So there's only 5 minutes left. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sub the DMC. And I'm just going to sub the left winger, I suppose. And just to try something different there, because we are playing the long ball thing, so we'll just try something different. There's only 5 minutes left. And again, we're not too bothered about the results. What we're worried about is just understanding the strengths, understanding the weaknesses, understanding what we can do to improve. And at the end of the day, like, I feel like this match for sure is just like, it's all good. We probably, looking like it's going to be 2-2, but at the end of the day, we just scored 2 goals off set pieces. There's some basic things we can do to remedy that, and we could have easily scored more than 2 goals ourselves. And all the chances we gave up other than that were just chances like that, the type that we're perfectly happy to give up. So in regards to a total sort of flow of everything, like, we're just really happy on the whole with what we're seeing here. Not stressed at all about the result there. And we do have to also bear in mind that we only have one good defender and he's injured. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly go here and see if there's anything else that we can do about this ML situation, because we need to play a left-sided player. We'll look at our U squad just to see if there's anything else there. So we might not be able to have a good player. Yeah, there's nothing. It's only 2 left wingers. That's it. So we have to play left winger. Oh, at the moment, what is it? Inverted winger. He just doesn't seem to be helping much. So I think what I would rather do is just... It just doesn't seem to be helping with it. What I'm going to try is I'm going to change him to defensive winger, and I'm going to move the Destroyer more central. So hopefully he'll get to do more, because he's be able to do more stuff because of his more central position. But he will still... The overall asymmetry in this tactic will still result in most of their attacks going down our right side, because now this guy's a bit further back, basically. So he's a bit further back now, but this guy's a bit further over to the right. So hopefully that sort of equals itself out. He won't be involved as much in the attacking play, but our DMC might be able to also do more defensively. So on the whole, I guess what I'm saying is, I think this should make us a lot stronger defensively, these 2 changes. as in this guy will be able to do more defensively, and this guy will help more defensively. And maybe we haven't lost much attacking wise, because I don't feel like he was doing anything much attacking wise anyway. Now I could be wrong. We need to pay attention. Maybe all of a sudden the chance break, it does impact things a lot. I think in particular one reason why that might be the case, even though he's not getting the ball a lot or doing a lot, he still is around. He still is about. He still is there, so to speak, which means that the other team is factoring him into consideration. There is a player thinking, I need to mark him. He is dragging the attention of defenders. So if he's not there at all, then all of a sudden the players that we do have potentially have one extra defender to deal with as well. So it's just worth bearing that in mind, that even though he's not getting the ball a lot and stuff, it still doesn't mean that he's not, even though it feels like he's doing nothing, it doesn't necessarily mean that his contribution is nothing. He might still be creating a bit of extra space, basically, for our other players. That's just worth bearing in mind. I think I'm just going to recheck the scouter players quickly. Because in particular, I think this guy was he the one? He was interesting, right? Because I think this, yeah. So he was kind of interesting. And he's not that expensive. And I feel like he's a lot more useful than the guy we got. I feel like that. I'm going to buy him. So just because now I think I do want to try and make this tactic work. So we're going to put... he's now going to be on the bench. And the ML is now going to be this guy. So... And... Right, so now we're talking about what is the role. And... the issue with this guy is that he can't tackle, and that's the issue with the other guy as well, right? Yeah, well, he definitely can't. So this one we're a bit more happy. It does change, yeah. So, and he can't shoot either, I think. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have bought him, because I'm not sure what was supposed to do with him, because he can't really contribute, as I was saying before. So what can he do? Because before I was saying we'd be able to get someone who can contribute defensively. Well, he can't. We get someone who can contribute by being able to score goals for us. Well, he can't. But we can create. So I guess that's what we're focusing on. What's his best path to help us create chances? This guy in particular, though, can he? Yeah, he can't either. Okay. So I feel like, I guess it's just another attacking winger. Right. Yeah. I think once we get our other defender back, it won't be as necessary to have this asymmetry either. If this guy here... Yeah, okay. I'm just going to try this like this. I mean, yes, I think their attacks will come more through both sides, but we can, it'll still be a more to the right. Maybe we'll just have to pay attention. Yeah, yeah, maybe this wasn't the best purchase because it just doesn't give flexibility. Like, ideally, the player would have been able to do at least 2 of those 3 things. Because, for example, if you could create and score, then we could have gone like inverted winger, so he would cut more in and get some long shot chances maybe as well. Or some sort of, maybe be able to score a bit, you know, get the odd chance, maybe. Or if he could defend, then we could go like just regular winger, and he could just do both. And that's probably what we wanted in the end, because we seem to have enough people be able to be honest, that can score, and with the long, like, we seem that's fine. That's probably not where we needed the help. What we probably needed the help was just with a guy here that can just get up and back and do both. What I'll do is I'll just leave it as winger. You know, he's only got 34 tackling. It's not great, to be honest, but what we can do is we can just see if tactically that he's going to, you know, tactically that works. And if it does, then he can end up being the backup or something, right? And we'll try and find a better player over time that can do both of these things. So I think I'll do that. So, right, for now, we'll try the long ball thing again. I will cram it into this video. So we'll persist with just the sitting back. And right now, it's a good time to persist with just trying out this long ball thing and getting a feel for it, because our one defender who isn't slow is injured, right? So it's just we're just trying to make the most of the opportunity. If you want to call an injury an opportunity, then we're just trying to make the most of it. Now, you do need to bear in mind for us as well that this is like the first day is the last day of this training league period. Like, if we had started, because a week ago we would have had like, 7 days of scouting pools and stuff to be able to pick up a lot of players that could help. If all we really wanted to do was win these matches, we could have just bought a whole bunch of players and blew all of our cash. But probably got better results. But that's not the purpose of this. Purpose of this is just to play properly and build towards getting to the Masters League, not to try and win training league matches on the first day. Right. Oh, blue and white again. This is very annoying. These blue. I'm going to change my team colours, I think, because I don't like this. Yeah, I'm going to change my team colours to something. I'll work it out after. Maybe, to be honest, if we were just yellow and blue, it would be fine. Right, so they are playing wingers, as in like swap our yellow and blue around, so our shirts are yellow. So they've had a long shot. They've got the AML. The big issue with our tactic, though, is just we're naturally countered by this AMR, so it's just, in the end, it's just not going to work no matter what we do. But in the meantime, maybe it does. Oh, look at that! Great goal. Not the easiest of chances, just good chance again. So there are certain matches, like obviously our tactic is just set up, trying to get things set up right, and there are certain matches where things will work well, because however you're set up is naturally going to work pretty well against your opponent, and maybe that match just ends up easy, and other matches obviously that just won't be true and it'll be much harder. So we'll see. To be honest, the first goal was, you could have had that same chance sort of fall to 10 other players instead, and they all missed. So, and even that player, maybe he would have needed that same chance 3 or 4 times to score once. So that first goal, it's a big luck element. Like I keep saying, you make your own luck at the same time. The second goal, however, was just Not at all really. It was just the tactic created that chance. Another sort of semi-dangerous situation. I mean, at the moment, I think it's just that type of match where it feels much more risky to change something than to leave things. Because at the moment, it kind of feels like we're very comfortable. So to be clear, that chance that just happened there is not. That's like a bad shot. They're the types of chances that we're not being creating many like that, to be honest, which is good. But if you have a tactic that creating a lot of chances like that, you don't really, it's not good. It was like long distance. It was from a bad angle. There wasn't like really anything much else on, like it. Yeah, they're the ones. If your tactic is creating lots and lots of chances like that, you want to try and tweak something to avoid those type of chances from happening too often. Those type of shot attempts. They're just like super low percentage, basically, chances. Alright, penalty. Ooh, off the post. It's quite interesting because our striker's finishing isn't that good, but I think he's got really good composure, so yeah, but it's still pretty interesting that he's still our best penalty taker. Something maybe we can keep in mind, because he's not a particularly great penalty taker, I don't think, with that. So, you know, if we happen to come across an MC or whatever at some point who happens to have really good penalty taking attributes, then it's a bit of a reason to maybe an extra reason to consider getting him. I'm not going to worry too much about that though. I think in the end we'll hopefully eventually get a striker that has high finishing. So yeah. To be honest, I'm alright with. I think especially for our first, the striker that we have, I'm fairly certain he's going to be good enough for these coming seasons. Obviously, we may be able to get an upgrade for a good price at some point. And the thing is, like, we need another one anyway because of squad management and the fact that we'll get injuries and stuff. So, and this guy, even if he is starting, he needs to get subbed off every match because he's tired. This guy is definitely much more suited to being the striker on the bench because he is. His main thing is he is fast, but he gets tired quick. So he's more the one that you want coming on for the last 30 minutes type of thing. So yeah, so we do need to be on the lookout for another striker. But as things stand, we're happy with him. At the moment, just wait for a bit more time to elapse. But really, just we are completely in control of this match. Now, we have had other matches that we've played where we've had a lot more good chances being created. We had some matches where it's like over 10 really great chances being created. We haven't had that many in this match, so we haven't been dominating as much. But they haven't had really any. They haven't, they've not created anything dangerous, and we're winning by 3 goals. So we're pretty much won this match, is what I'm saying at this point. Pretty much. Now, I say that from the perspective that obviously, if we were to just leave this team as is, we definitely, I think, would just win at this point. But we do want to make some subs to get our better players off the pitch so they don't get injured. And if we did that made 3 subs, get our 3 best players off, and then we conceded a goal, then all of a sudden maybe everything's looking less certain. So we're just waiting for a little bit of time to elapse to just find that magical balance of, it's safe enough that even if we're really unlucky, we still win anyway, basically. But striker, it's time for him anyway, because he's about to fall below 80% condition, so at least we can get one of them off. Now they're about to... now I'm going to do it after the set piece, because I think either he's going to be back defending, and he's got good aerial ability, or he's staying up, because he's probably staying up, and he's really fast, so... Yeah. Right, so now we want to get him off. Didn't think it'd be this long to us about to do it. Yeah, so we're just going through the motions at this point. We're going to do our subs. We're going to take off our striker. We want that guy on the poacher role. And we're going to also sub off other players we don't want to get injured. Trying to think who that is. Probably our goalkeeper is an option. It's definitely this AMC guy. It would be the left and the right winger, but the right winger in particular. But for now, we'll just do that one, and we'll just think for a second who the last one will be. Might just be the goalkeeper, to be honest. Yeah, actually, no, it's probably defender, central defender, because we've already got one injured. It would kind of be a disaster to get another one. Let's get one of those central defenders off. We'll take this guy off. Yeah. So. So you can see then that their player was way faster than our defender. So when we're playing the deep defensive line, it just really makes it so that there isn't a lot of space behind your defenders for the other team to run onto. So like, it really de-risks having, your slow defenders getting exposed a lot. So that's why we've been playing it. That was just a good example of how playing a deep defensive line helps a lot, because we ended up, just getting the ball first and nothing happened. Whereas if we weren't playing a deep defensive line, that probably isn't the case. Probably they end up running onto it and, maybe score, maybe not. So here's an example. They're going to get there first. It happened. They scored. It's a perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about. So the deep defensive line makes it so that ball has to be perfectly weighted, like that has to play out perfectly, like it just did. Whereas if you're playing a high defensive line, then it doesn't need to be perfect at all. There's huge scope for it to be less than perfect, and that same situation happen. So, but in that particular case, I could just see straight away that it was like a perfectly weighted ball. It would make an interesting finish if they scored there, but they didn't. So this is why I'm saying we needed to pick the perfect time to do these subs, because that DC, for example, that sub there is probably what, because he's like 30 speed or whatever instead of 50 speed. So that's probably what caused that goal to be conceded, was that DC sub. So, it was important to not do all of these straight away after 50, 60 minutes, because maybe we don't win the game then. But we've handled it in such a way that we should have just pretty much guaranteed that we're going to win this game still. We might even get one more chance. Oh, we did. It was blocked by a defender. So there you go. So I think this one just really super comfortable. We won 3-1, but it was even more comfortable than this. It was very, very good result. Okay, I'll stop this video. Thanks.